You remember what I told you a couple of weeks ago?
What?
Young people have RAM, old people have ROM. Remember
RAM?
that?
No.
RAM is random access memory. You can just go poop, 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 and you remember stuff. ROM is read only. Somebody will trigger a memory. You talk about that, and then 2 minutes later, it's gone. So, you know, that's the difference. So I can understand that, you know, because probably about 45 minutes, you'll be singing that song.
You're probably right. Happy New Year! Welcome to 2024, our first edition of Older Black Men Conversation. I am your co-host for the ride along, Brother David Harold Dudley III, aka Cool Breeze.
Cool Breeze.
What's up?
Cool Breeze, those are my initials, CB. Hi, I'm the real Cliff Barnes, and it's happy to have seen another new year, and Happy New Year to all of you guys out there, and you know, it's just even happier to be here now. So you know, every day.
Yeah, it got to be like that.
Oh,
What
man.
was I'm thinking. Okay, this year was probably the weirdest holiday season because normally, like for example, on Christmas Eve, you're out rushing doing your last minute shopping. Well, my son, our producer, took me down to ER down the street down here at Valley
Oh goodness.
on Christmas Eve
Oh man.
because I had COVID.
So
So
it's still around. People think it's gone.
Yeah,
Because we acted like it never happened.
yeah,
But it's still around.
It's live and in living color, brother.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Man. So New Year's Eve, Christmas Day, all that week, and then New Year's Eve.
Right.
Shit, I was right here in this spot here with COVID, my friend COVID. You know what I mean? And I had this nasty medicine I had to take. Man, y'all don't want to get COVID and have to take any of that stuff because it wipe out your taste buds for the next 19 days. I'm still recovering. Just a thought, I can feel it. Just a thought that comes in my, oh man, terrible.
Oh man.
So that's how my New Year's went. What's up with you?
Hey, it was. I actually got my Christmas shopping done before Christmas Eve, so this is a first for me. And you know, it was nice and quiet, and then we had a kind of a gathering on Christmas Day instead of Christmas Eve because my daughter was working at Snowflake Lane, so couldn't do it that night, so we did it Christmas Day. But anyway, it was pretty quiet and nothing that's as exciting as what was happening with you.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so, you know, and the whole thing is, it's like, I don't care how nasty, how bad the medicine tastes. If I could have that instead of a shot, I'd be right on it. Because I hate needles. I don't care. This tastes like goddamn gopher piss. I'm sorry, but I'll take it. don't put nothing in my arm. God gave me 9 holes in my body. That's all I need. I don't need you punching no, you know. And then on top of that, the whole thing about sickness in general is you have so many different chemicals that weren't in your body that are there now. You know, because scientifically speaking, everything in the earth is in our bodies. So that's elemental right? I mean, we even got gold and silver, everything that's is in our bodies in small amounts, whatever. But then you start putting other chemicals in there, everybody ain't gonna react the same way.
Yeah, well,
But I take the chance of drinking it or getting it up by the spoonful or even nasal injections rather than have them need. Oh God, I hate needles. Oh.
man, I actually sat here with a bunch of memories about New Year's Eve.
Yeah, previous New Year's,
Yeah, man. I mean, I do you remember this when we did a gig? We didn't do a gig. We threw a gig, or we tried to throw a gig and
Right.
charge people to come in, right?
Yeah, we
At
got.
Washington Hall, up there in 14th and Yesler, and it was snowing that night, right?
It snowed. It had been kind of wanting to snow, spitting all day. So we said, nah, we're not gonna cancel it. It's not gonna be that bad. And that was.
Yeah. And we had a live band and shit. Man, that was. But check this out. So I'm out at home, and my dad or my mom's friend sister came in from out of town, and she's our age, you know.
Mhm.
And it was like, and I didn't know her, and I had his mama was part of the group, right?
Right.
So they're like, well, take this woman with you to your thing, and I'm like, no. I'm thinking, no, I don't want to do that. So I'm being really cool, right? Because it's not like she looked really super good, but she had her eyes. She was running her eyes up and down my body. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, you know. Yeah, well. You
So
know.
yeah, so man, so we get to the party, man, and this honey comes up to me. Now Rochelle's right here, right? She comes up and puts her tongue in my ear, and I'm like, what? You know?
I wonder if people still do that.
I don't know, man. That was so weird, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And bottom line, I tried to do what I could, but she got really drunk, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So Rochelle had her own car,
Uh-huh.
that little orange Datsun. And so I was like, okay,
Oh, they're Nissans now, kid.
yeah, whatever. But now you're right.
They used to be Dodgers.
But
Yeah.
I take this young lady home, and I'm thinking it's cool, right? But she's drunk as a skunk, man. She almost making me wreck the car and shit, man. Just climbing over the seat, and I mean, I'm like,
Kind of aggressive. Sounds like.
yeah, from
Yeah.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh,
I don't know
my.
what they spread them people there, man, but.
Oh my.
But that was one of the memorable ones, because I remember sitting there thinking, looking at Gary doing the DJ stuff on stage. He was pretty good. I mean, he was different. And then the live band. I'm like, oh yeah, man.
I don't even know. I don't know if all of them made it, because that was one of the monster snowstorms that we had, and it ended up being over a foot, which is very rare for us. You know, people back east going, a foot of snow, we had that on our breakfast cereal. I'm sorry. That's why I live over here, because we don't. So, but yeah, we had invested a little cash in it and everything, you know, but it turned out fine, because we all got to hang out together and stay warm out of the storm. You know, but I didn't know you had some random woman aggressively pursuing you in front of your children's mother.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, I don't think they were even a thought yet.
we had just gotten out of high school. We were just, no, actually we had been out of high school
For a
a couple years, because we was just old enough to drink
Yeah.
legally. You know, apparently you're old enough to drink when you can hold the bottle, but legally, you know, we couldn't. That's why we were throwing that New Year's gig.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it was. I don't want to say it was like the worst party that I've ever been to, but
Yeah.
you know, overall it wasn't bad,
but that was the thing. I remember New Year's Eve used to be I mean, yeah, you're right. We threw the party because we could.
We was always always looking for something to do.
But there was other stuff going on, man. I remember going to a couple of. I remember a New Year's party, man, out in the U District at somebody's house. I don't know who the hell it was, and I was walking around.
We usually didn't know whose house it was.
But I remember this because should I use the government name? Okay.
No, you don't. We don't. Look, our producer has enough to edit. You can't be.
Okay, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna give the last name.
You can,
because I mean, this range guy is standing there with a doobie going, and he looks at me and goes, "I'm only doing this to try to smoke because I want to smoke cigarettes, so I'm trying this first to see how it goes."
Oh, so marijuana, there was a gateway drug. I smoke, and then move up to cigarettes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, you know the thing is, I bought that. Like, oh yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, well, it is, but as I say, like now, as far as partying and New Year's go, I'm looking for somewhere to have a nice TV and have it be nice and warm and toasty, and all I do is watch fireworks from around the world.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, honestly, the last few years, this past one was an exception. I on purpose said, I'm gonna be up.
Anyway.
I'm gonna be up. So I didn't even drink a beer until 11:15. You know what I mean?
Hey, by 11:15, I had a few shots of whiskey. So I had a little buzz going and stuff, and then the space needle once again. What the hell do
Clouded in clouds.
It's like they have a fireworks display going up and down, but then the display makes so much smoke, so all you're seeing is just like lights in the cloud.
Yeah.
Then they had the drones flying around, and the soundtrack is usual, just
speaking
okay.
of drones flying around, I hope it wasn't a brother or a sister that jumped off that damn building.
Oh, yeah. we got, that's right, we got skyscrapers, so people want to do that.
Why don't you just call them idiots?
I don't know. I mean, because they do it all the time. They jump off of bridges, and the thing is, fortunately, base jumping wasn't a thing when the Space Needle was first built, because they ended up having to put this big screen so you can't climb over, because a couple of people had tried to. And maybe I think one might have succeeded, but people were trying to jump off to commit suicide. So they put this big fence up, and then it was up and then kind of over like that, so you couldn't get out there. But back in them days, that would have been the perfect place to base jump.
Yeah, if you want to jump and have a thrill, let me run you over in my car.
I don't see how that would be.
It's the same kind of thrill.
I don't see how that would be a thrill for anybody but you. because the thing is, but yeah, and I don't know if that's ever happened around here before.
What, somebody get hit by a car?
No, that happens way too often. Oh man, the way these people drive. But no, base jumping off of our taller building.
I didn't know what the hell they was talking about when they said it. I mean, I was watching them doing it when they was talking. I'm like, the guy just jumped out the damn building. What are you talking about?
And then they gathered up their chutes and ran and got in the vehicle and went away. By the time the cops heard about it, they was gone. This one guy had filmed it from his high-rise condo, and sure enough, they just floated down, landed in a parking lot somewhere, and then nobody called it in until this guy had the video. So you know, but I'm not one of them. Like it's just like bungee jumping.
That is bungee jumping.
No. Bungee jumping is where they have the
Well, I know,
the
but
elastic rope.
I-
But
it's
this
to
is
me-
but this is different because you know when you bungee jump, if the thing don't break, then you hang down there and. But this here, your parachute has to open. It has to open fast because you're only like 500 feet, 400 feet off the ground.
whatever.
But you know, I can't see the thrill. It's just like skydiving. You're up in a perfectly good airplane, you just leap out for no apparent reason. The hell is that? I wouldn't jump out of a plane unless I could look out there and see it on fire.
Yeah.
I'm not, no.
Yeah, well, I know I must be getting young because I can't relate to any of that shit.
No, well, hey, I never could. Even when I was young, I couldn't relate to jumping out of an airplane or
Well, you know, your boy,
bungee jumping.
your boy was doing crazy shit a lot.
Who that?
Gary.
Well, yeah, that's because
He was crazy.
that's because before he was a street philosopher, he was a techno nerd before it was cool. Every kind of gadget that would
But
be
what necessarily
around.
the gadget?
He had
It was. I'm taking flying lessons in a two-seater. What?
No. No, see, that's another thing. Private planes, the little one engine. My car only has one engine. My car only has one engine, and if it goes dead, I can pull over the side of the road. If I'm like 400, 500, 1,000, 2,000 feet and my engine stops, I'm in trouble with that little Cessna. So you gotta have at least two engines. So if one stops, you got a little power on the other one. You can feather it. Well, anyway.
You know,
It's not it.
I've been trying to figure out what the best New Year's Eve party I went to, and I think probably the one that I mentioned, where the dude was there with the what do you call that? With the blunt.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was the best one because I think Marvin Gaye's What's Going On was playing on the record
Right.
all the time. I mean, like all the time. And there was this honey there in this red dress, and she was like, June is busting out all over.
Okay.
and I went up, and I was fascinated.
She had them tiggle bitties. Huh?
Oh yeah, man! I went up to her. I went up to her and said, "Me and you need to get together." And she goes, "Ah, I don't think my husband would like that." I said, "Where you at?" She goes, "Right here." And I said, "Do you mind?" And he said, "No."
Yeah.
And I did the whole very about
That was a motorboating accident.
Yeah, boy. I think that was probably the best party because I was just wandering around seeing all stuff, all kind of crap.
Hey.
And thought I was hallucinating half the time, but it was a good party. New Year's came in.
Did you come to the slumber party?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best party I ever was at because it was at my house, and when I got really drunk, I just went and fell in my bed. From like about 8 or 9 the one evening until about 6 or 8 the next evening.
Yeah, man, that was the day I seen good old with a beer in his hand.
Oh wow, that wasn't those days are those days were rare.
Yeah.
You know,
and he had pajamas on too.
Oh well, he couldn't have got in.
Right.
That was
right.
You, like that Jammy Jam that came out with Kid Play or whoever.
Oh yeah.
We had done that. We
House
had done
party
that.
too.
Yes, we had already done that. We said, "Man, we're gonna have a party." Said, "Okay, what's gonna be the theme?" And then we just sitting around. Said, "How about pajamas?"
Yeah.
And so, and that was when, well, I don't know her last name anyway, Brenda. She had on this like 2-piece lingerie thing, and then right there on the crotch or on the front, it had a happy face. Remember the happy face, little yellow smiley thing?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember her.
Yeah, she's passed away. I think she passed away when we were much younger. But anyway, that was when I coined the phrase cervix with a smile. But anyway, there was just a lot of crazy stuff. You had people all over the house, and you wore your pajamas and or lingerie, and then you brought like a bedroll or a sleeping bag or whatever.
You know what? I remember there was some honey there. One of them line sisters was trying to talk me out of, which was really crazy. Having a baby. I'm like,
talk you out of this. I didn't know that men could have them.
There you go.
That's an interesting concept.
No, because I was in my I am not pure, but I'm pure for only one lady mode.
At a time.
Yeah. So I think it was her mission that night to make me change my mind. I'm like, no, I cannot, I will not, I shall not, and I did not.
Oh, well, okay, at least not then.
Yeah.
But no, and then there was a New Year's party out at Dr. Butler's house, the late Dr. Butler.
Yeah.
And that was the second time I had Dom Perignon.
Yeah.
It was really good. And we all had brought our sleeping bags and stuff, you know, she just opened up the house, people were all over the house. So I'm standing there and I had a glass of champagne, right? Just regular champagne. And so I look over and this dude is like, he's walking, and it was like, look, I said, oh, is that Dom Perignon? He goes, yeah. I had that other champagne, I went right there, I was standing by the street. I want to see what this tastes like, if it tastes like I remember, because I've only had it a couple of times in my life, you know, a couple, 3 times, because depending on, that was during the time when I was hanging out with some people that had money. You know, and so they brought in the high-end Don. I said, hey, it tastes pretty good, but it's still champagne. You know, we had Dom Perignon and Mums. That was another popular brand of high-end champagne. And then all of a sudden, Cristal jumped up there because of all the rap kids. You know, but
Hell, I'm
but
so
yeah, you know, but the problem is when you go to New Year's parties, you have to drive home unless you make pre-arrangement, you know, and that's not a good scenario.
Yeah, but you know, I thought, now I could have been totally wrong, but I thought I had all that shit solved. I thought if I drank 2 beers,
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah,
a couple glasses of wine,
right.
and
You had the equation.
yeah, but the trick was if you cut it with some weed,
Oh yeah.
shit, you be high, but you don't be drunk.
Well,
I mean, you be drunk and high, but
Well,
you don't be just drunk.
you
know what I mean?
well, you used to say dry, drunk, and high.
Yeah.
It was a predecessor to crunk. We had been drinking and smoking. Drive.
Speaking of driving, you know, I'm noticing that this weed that's out today, which I'm not sure where it comes from or what they're doing to it. Maybe they're shitting in it.
Well, it
fertilizer.
actually comes from a number of farms that don't look like farms in the area.
I know back in the day when we smoked some weed and we sit down and smoke and, you know, we puff, pass, and occasionally a puff, pass,
Right.
you know. You just got, you know, you were kind of like, yeah, man, that's cool, you know. I mean, you were just kind of laid back. Now these motherfuckers want to fight.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand because usually it was just like everything would be mellow.
Yeah, that's it, mellow.
It'd be mellow,
You don't even be thinking about fighting motherfuckers.
And the probably the most uttered phrase you'd ever hear is, "What was I talking about?"
Yeah.
You know, and then we try to figure that question out, you know. But we would, yeah, I don't know. And not me personally, I've never been like a belligerent, want to fight person when I get drunk. I'm usually, okay, could I get a ride home? I mean, you know, I wasn't looking to fight, you know, because that's not, I like my little body and I didn't want it harmed in any way if I could help it.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, when we went to parties, we knew some really tough fucking people, so it was like, I didn't want to get, you don't want to be fighting them, you know. And the thing is, they were cool. I mean, there's a little hierarchy as far as, you know, like toughness and what have you, you know. Now, everybody got a gun, so they all just as tough as each other, unless you got more bullets. I don't know how that works, but we never, we rarely even saw guns. We knew who had them.
Yeah.
Because there was some folks that, you know, in our intersecting circles of friends.
Yeah.
We knew who had guns.
Yeah.
And we knew why they had them, because, you know, they was into some shady
Shit.
stuff, right? But that wasn't the first thing that happened whenever there was, you know, I mean, it was like fighting. It's like, yeah, you know, fisticuffs, right? And then most of the time, between a few hours later and a few days later, them boys was Ace Boone Coons.
Yeah.
They was hanging out. We all still partying again.
Yeah.
You know, but now, I mean, if you shoot somebody, you can't party with them again.
Right.
That's it. It ain't
Right.
like
Right.
it ain't like the video games where you can push a button and get another life.
Yeah.
That shit won't happen. You know. But yeah, back in the day, there was always a party somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that we knew about. And then the thing is, if one of us heard about it, then
Told everybody else.
we would bum rush the party. It wouldn't just be that person going, unless it was like, you know, special occasion kind of party or something where, you know.
And I'll be honest, my
Invite only.
memory of that is I made sure that I wasn't the first one in. Just in case there was a problem. I didn't want to be the one up front, you know what I mean?
No, well, we had I can't mention any government names. We had him for that.
True.
CW.
True.
It's like, go in and see what's happening and come back out and tell us. You know, you had to have a, you know, designated surveillance person,
Yeah.
I guess is what you call it. You
Yeah.
know, but yeah, we had
Hey,
parties.
remember the I guess he was karate or kung fu or something. Big guy that hung with us for a minute.
Yeah.
Had a bird name.
Oh, I was getting ready to say had an old name. So it was
Right, gotcha.
Bird old.
Bird old.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sorry y'all don't get this. This is funny.
That's okay. That's okay. You know, it's like maybe in your subscription, you know, maybe you can get you can ask that question and we might be able to explain it to you.
Yeah.
We're trying our gosh darndest not to use government names.
Yeah.
Except for, well, ours.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, but we're not wanted. Well, we're
Right,
wanted.
exactly,
We're
exactly.
wanted. We just don't have no warrants out.
Right.
But yeah, you know, I mean, it's.
Man, you ever been to a party where the police busted and put everybody against the wall, searched everybody, and said, "You got a warrant? You got a warrant? You got a warrant?" It just took motherfuckers out.
Kind of like a
Man,
lineup. No, never
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
I do remember that party with that you. But anyway, that you thought everybody else should get a little fresh air.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I remember that tavern
that's something
too.
else without.
You know what? I went to New Year's Eve at that tavern one time.
What tavern?
Fresh air.
Oh man, we had fresh air was the shit, man. This,
Yeah.
For you kids today that are from Seattle, Fresh Air was a club that is now called Neighbors. And in those
Not
days,
Cheers.
No. It was called Fresh Air, and a lot of really good groups at the time came through.
Yeah,
and
Tower Power,
Tower Power,
Cold Blood.
They used to live up here, boy. These
Yeah.
boys was here every time they had something new. This was their test
Yeah.
work, and we was there every time.
Yeah.
And it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and or maybe even Tuesday. But anyway, the first days that weren't weekends, it was $1,
Yeah.
and then on weekends it was $3.
Yeah.
We went every night.
Yeah. And I didn't have no money because I was a student. I go get some plasma twice that week. Get $5 the first time and $15 the next. Shit, they gave me some gas in the tank,
Oh,
and I
man.
could go to the club. Boy.
Yeah, because we go to Fresh Air. I remember like Thursday night, we were there, and Cold Blood, who was also from the Bay Area, another Bay Area band with little lady singer Lydia Pence, late Lydia Pence. Anyway, Cold Blood had a concert at the arena. Fresh Air had Tower Power was there. So after the concert was over at the arena, those guys came to Fresh Air. So they did, a combined band because they all play in each other's studio. They're all studio musicians for each other. So now we're sitting there, and there's like 8 horns, and drummers, and Lydia Pence and Rick Stevens, and we were just having a great time. And what enhanced mine is I think I had accidentally ingested some synthetic THC.
Oh yeah, I remember those times.
Yeah,
Man,
I fell on the
man.
ground and popped in my mouth. I don't know, it was a total accident.
Hey, I did the same thing. I was sitting at the table and thought I felt a fly.
Uh-huh.
Hit that shit that fell right in my mouth.
This is what I'm saying. And it was like, and the thing is, back in the day, they used to have a balcony. Remember? You go upstairs, and like the balcony was here, and the stage was directly there, so you get kind of an overview of the whole club, and you could, see the band and stuff. So yeah, that was back when concerts was cheap.
Cheap.
Because it was weird, man. It's like, okay, before I retired, I was working at the stadium, right? And the Rolling Stones had concert there down at what is now Lumen Field. At that time, it was CenturyLink or Quest or whatever. I was there for about 3 or 4 name changes. But anyway, tickets for the Rolling Stones high end before scalping, $1,500.
Yeah, boy.
And we used to go to concerts for 10 or less. And only
Look.
time and you had to be really, really up on the hierarchy to charge $10 to come in.
Yeah, look.
You know?
I remember going to the King Dome.
Yeah.
The King Dome is what they blew up one year.
So that they could have Lumen Field.
One time they just blew it up.
But
yeah.
at the King Dome, on the big stage, it was a rotating stage. Motherfucking Stevie Wonder.
Oh man.
That nigga was up there and he was jamming, Jack. He was jamming, he was kicking ass. I was like, oh boy, Stevie Wonder only spent $12. This is so
Exactly.
good. Then the Rolling Stones came on stage and those Caucasian gentlemen went wild.
Yeah.
I mean, they had an opening act that made them go wild because they had to at least equal him.
Oh man, they had the same problem following Hendrix, so don't worry about it. Sometimes that happens. What's the lineup? What we gotta follow? Oh hell no! And then Hendrix went, and they said, oh shit. But when I saw Stevie Wonder and Wonder Love at Paramount, yeah, and then we saw you remember Buddy Miles?
Oh yeah.
That concert, Buddy Miles Live, we were there. They recorded the live concert at the Paramount.
Buddy Miles was out at Lake Hills a few times.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, by the way, Lake Hills was a skating rink.
It still is.
It still is, but they used to have live music on the weekends. And so we would drive all the way over there and hang out and party and,
Another place we partied at, that was like majority Caucasian kids,
non-black.
non-black, and they were high end because they was in Bellevue, West Island, and we just go over there and be as black as we wanted to be. I mean, we was blacker than black over there because we was blackity black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We could party, boy.
Funny how, I do remember that because a lot of times, our accents and our emphasis on certain words and all that would change, as opposed to, it's like most of us are bilingual. In that we have, let's call it a business telephone voice.
Code switching.
Yeah,
Code
exactly.
switch, very good.
And then we have our, hanging out with the fellas, vocabulary, what have you. But yeah, I mean, we were just, acting because that's what was required.
Yeah, and it was fun because we got invited to parties over there. There was some risk involved in the parties over there.
Yeah.
Because
Bellevue Police, I think they call them.
Yeah, and parents weren't home, and we were out in the middle of nowhere, and may have had no gas and what. I mean, it was
very interesting because as cheap as gas was, we still had times where we ran out.
Yeah, how you run out of gas at 25 cents a gallon?
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, when my family had the service station, we had the high-end gas.
Yeah.
So we had.
I mean, just think about it. I mentioned earlier, I went to give plasma because I could get $5 the first time,
Please.
and then $15 the second time, and $5. Shit, $5 damn near filled up the tank. You know what I mean?
$5 overflowed the tank. if you're paying 20 cents a gallon, you get $5 worth of gas.
Yeah,
I'm saying 5 gallons for $1.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, I
a
do
little over
remember
5
times.
gallons. It was 19 cents a gallon, 18.9.
I do remember times where I'd go, okay, so I need gas money. I got a dime.
Please.
I got a dime. I got a nickel.
Yep.
I got 5 pennies. Okay.
Yeah. That's what it would be. I was doing this bit on stage about that exact thing. You go to a party and you would usually be driving.
Right.
But when I got my car, or if I had borrowed one of my brother's cars, I'm driving, so it's like, come back to the car, everybody's like, dude, can I get a ride home and what? And it's like, yeah, sure, we chip in for gas. So, like you say, you put your hand back there, and all you hear is ching, ching. You don't hear no bills, just ching, ching. So you get over there, drive into the station, and that's when the guy would actually come out and address your needs.
Yeah.
And you say, dude, I need to get 87 cents worth of regular. Put it in that boom. 87 cents worth of regular. Drive everybody home. Drive to school for the next couple days. Right? Now you go in and ask for 87 cents worth of regular. The dude is like, come here. You go out to the pump, you get it, and just pass it right under your nose and hang it up. It's like shit.
Like what D.L. Hughley said. He's like, or no, not Cedric the Entertainer. Said, let me get 52 cents on pump 4. What you driving, a lawnmower?
Exactly.
Like, don't worry about it, just put my gas on.
Oh yeah, but boy, like, who the hell was it? Might have been Arnett J, whatever. He said, dude, I had to go over here and I had to get gas at pump 8. So I had to get enough gas to drive to pump 10. I mean, that's, and then when I was in LA, $6 a gallon.
Oh yeah, they true. They true.
We went to, when I went to LA a couple months back, $6 a gallon, and they're happy to pay it. And
Of course they are.
And I'm thinking, hey, $6 a gallon, and then I'm gonna waste it sitting in traffic because the traffic is so heavy all through the day.
Yeah.
Ain't no such thing as rush hour. It's always rush hour in LA. And it
Like,
was,
a friend of mine just moved to Nashville last week and was getting gas $2 and something. He was like, "Oh, I could get used to this."
yeah, yeah, because they've been going like the national average is like $3.68. In Washington, it's $5. I'm like, wait a minute. Then I remember we have like one of the highest gas taxes in America. They tack on, when they get done with stuff, they tack on about $1 or a little over $1 for each gallon. So that's why our gas is always higher than the national average, but it still ain't high as California. But I'm like, man, that's crazy. You know, just to compare, you know, now the minimum wage in Washington is like $16 and something cents. You know, just the state amount, highest in the nation. When we was in the early stages of our working careers,
Don't even talk about it.
it was $1.25 an hour.
Yeah.
And then we were working up at Weyerhaeuser for the summers out of school, and we was living large. We was making $5 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a job in DC when I lived over there at the mall, and it was not my first job, but
Right.
it was the most disrespectfully paid job.
Oh, please.
In my mind, at $5 and something an hour, I'm like, no, this is because I worked in Washington, you know,
Right, right.
making, 11, 12, 13, and I'm like,
Yeah.
$5? What am I supposed to do with this?
But the whole point of that is, even back then, it goes with cost of living.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to live over there than it was here, or is here, you know, just like,
Yeah, for real.
you know. But
Think
that's-
about that time. That was 2006 when I had that job.
Oh, yeah, that was.
But it's crazy because I had a 2-bedroom apartment. Well, prior to getting that job, I had a 2-bedroom apartment over there, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $975. I have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath right now,
Yeah.
$1,700.
Hey, dude, when we first moved out, we had a penthouse apartment in Inner Bay, Lower Magnolia, and it was $160. And we split, we paid $80 for a 2-bedroom penthouse apartment. We were paying $80 each, and I was like, wow. Now,
Yeah.
I swear, like 1,700, 1,800. You know, it's like I have a house, and my house rent is right around $3,000 a month, which is why I got to get out of it, because now it's just me, so it's way too big and too expensive.
Well,
But it's
you
a
know what?
3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a house.
$3,000.
You know,
Yeah,
but
but
yeah,
look, my house mortgage
yeah.
right now, today, as we sit, is $1,200.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm bitching about that.
Hey, shoot, but you know, like now, in the CD where I live, we got $1 million houses, $1 million condos.
Yeah.
You know,
honestly,
And who are the millionaires moving into all these places?
All
but
these-
check
all
it
these
out.
kids that are
it's
doing
the
tech work
evaluation.
and
It's
stuff.
evaluation because you guys see where my place is at.
Right.
And it's just about a month ago was valued at $712,000. And we don't. I mean, that if we sold that sucker right now,
Yeah.
we get $200,000.
Hey,
That's over what we owe.
Please, that's what I'm
What is
saying.
and that's out there.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not getting refinanced.
When I bought my house, $14,300.
Yeah,
When I sold my house,
yeah,
$350,000.
yeah.
But I had to live there for 40 years for that to happen. But still in all,
But you had a place to live.
you know, exactly. But still in all,
Well, you know
know.
what my parents paid for that house on Morgan Street when my dad got out the Air Force?
whoa, what? Yeah, the pink house.
Yeah, the
Yes.
pink house, the big pink house.
Yep.
$12,000.
Mm-hmm.
And when he sold it to my sister, he sold it for $19,000.
No, see, that's what I'm saying.
And when when they finally sold it, they didn't tell me what they got, but I know they got a mint because it's worth, right now today, I know it's worth $1 million.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing how things change monetarily.
Yeah.
Well, romantically,
Yeah.
and as time goes by.
Yeah.
You know, because we was living large. We was making $5 an hour. And I figured out a way that when I was going to school, I could get unemployment. I was one of the first people that ever got unemployment and was still in school.
Nigga,
You know?
I got a job. They paid me $8 an hour and they put my black butt in school, so I was going to school for 4 days a week.
Hey,
All day, getting paid by the hour.
Hey.
And got my degree.
please.
You couldn't beat that with a stick. And that's courtesy of Senator Kennedy. Shout out.
Yeah. We had, yep. I know, shit. And then you and I used to do Christmas break at the
post office.
They
Yeah.
had and the difference now is, I don't know how it is mail as far as volume of mail, but in those days, they had mail that was going to Vietnam.
Yeah.
So we could work, get out there with throwing bags on trucks and all that, and then after our shift, they go, well, you want to go across the street to the annex? Well, sure. So we'd be working 16 hours, 17 hours. And then the thing about it is, you didn't get paid until January.
Right.
So you can get all your Christmas stuff that you had saved up for, and then you got that big little bonus check coming in January.
Yeah.
You know, and then there was a time you almost killed us coming home.
You know what? I was just thinking about that.
We went to work, it was nice, it was clear, whatever. We come out, snow everywhere.
Sounds like Texas.
We're going up the hill to Jackson to 31st, and it ends there. Straight ahead is like a guardrail.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to turn right or left, or we're supposed to turn right to my house. So we get up to the top of the hill, and then the car's going a little fast, so he puts his foot on the brake, turns the wheels, you know, to the right. The car said, I don't want to go right. And it kept going straight to the guardrail and then down into the park, you know, to our deaths. So I'm like, David, take your foot off the brake. And he's like, you know, like, well, light black knuckles. So anyway, he's holding on to the steering wheel, and, you know, and I'm like, take your foot off the brake. Take your foot off the brake. So we get about halfway across the street to yellow line, and then the next lane, and then over, and he took his foot off the brake, and the car said, phew, like that. I think that scared us more than the fact that, because it turned so fast. He had turned the wheels to the right, but it was just sliding straight. Boom. You know, and then we looked at each other, and just drove on. But that was a stop and say, shit, we almost died moment. Yeah, you know, but it was just so different. Everything was different. I think that was the car we had to climb in and out of the window.
Oh, yeah.
The little
good
black
one.
and white Plymouth.
The good one.
Yeah, it only had one door that worked. It had two doors that worked. Then one stopped working, so we didn't get it on the right side. Then that one, for some reason, got jammed, so we had to climb into the window. And by the way, still was picking up honeys. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
It's like,
Boy, that was that one honey though.
oh my.
It did not matter. Day, night, morning, winter, spring, fall.
Summer.
The car would be, I mean, we'd be smoking. Can I have a ride? Yeah.
Gotta climb in through the window.
Climbing through the window. Now we all stuck in here,
Dive
and the car ain't working. Cause your big black butt done crawled in here. It's your fault. Get out the car. Brum, brum, brum. What the hell? Okay, that was an accident.
Right.
It will never happen again.
Right.
Can I have a ride? Yeah. What the hell? Every time the honey got in the car fucked up. Something happened.
Hey, then there was the car where we had to stick two fingers out the window and when it wouldn't start.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of forces moved or whatever, but it'd be
Hey, stick your fingers out the window.
stick two fingers out the window like this, and we all had some weird vehicles, I tell you.
Yeah, but you know what? Got us around. Except for when that honey got in the car.
Well,
got us around.
Okay, well then there was a time that we had 18 people in that station wagon.
Oh yeah.
Then there was a time that station wagon, the tire came off in the snowstorm, and your friend said, "Wow, if I hadn't known it was going to be a flat tire, I wouldn't have come."
Yeah, and I got, you know what?
And
I
then
got a
friend-
DM from him on Christmas and New Year's this year.
You got what?
A DM from him.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because you were saying he was going to come back. He's supposed to be coming back. But then after he said that, your other friend said, somebody get him a plastic bag and have him walk up to the gas station and get some air.
I saw somebody do that.
So,
Putting gas in a plastic bag. I think it's like, stop. Stop.
because we had been to a party.
Yeah.
And then when we had 18 people in it, we had been to
A concert?
no.
A high school dance?
Memorial Stadium. God
Okay,
damn
a
it.
football game.
We come from a football game, and I know it was Franklin versus Queen Anne. I remember that distinctly because the lady that I was with at that time went to Queen Anne, and so we're gonna give her a ride home. But it was so weird.
So did the woman that made the car stop.
Yeah, I know. They were friends. I know, because remember we had gone up to Queen. That's where we met them.
Yeah.
We had gone up to Queen Anne because they were.
Yeah, and she was pretending. This woman now, she was a girl then, but she figured out, she went to this white high school, she figured out, if I'm somebody different, they'll treat me better. So she became this African person.
Yeah.
And did the whole accent and walking around talking in school.
Yeah.
And they thought she was African, but she was just a plain old girl from the hood.
Oh man, that's what brothers used to do that. Brother, you see a brother in the morning. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man? What's up, man? Oh, cool, man. What's up? Hey, Willie, how you doing, man? See him in the afternoon, man. Don't be calling me that slave shit. well, what's your name? My name is Umbatu.
Yeah.
Say, okay, that's fine. You got it. But then you go a few steps later, and here come one of the ladies the other way. Hi, Willie. Yo, girl, how you doing? So that we can play.
He's trying to be all things to all people.
Yes, I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, but I mean, the thing is, it's just fun sitting around and being happy that we remember this much. Is it about that time?
It's about that time. We got to get on up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a song to leave us with, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, well, see,
But maybe in this new year, when these moments like this occur, I'll remember the song.
You remember what I told you a couple of weeks ago?
What?
Young people have RAM, old people have ROM. Remember
RAM?
that?
No.
RAM is random access memory. You can just go poop, 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 and you remember stuff. ROM is read only. Somebody will trigger a memory. You talk about that, and then 2 minutes later, it's gone.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the difference. So I can understand that, you know, because probably about 45 minutes, you'll be singing that song.
You're probably right.
So,
Anyhow,
anyway,
peace from Cool Breeze. See you next time.
yep, it was fun sitting around reminiscing as we usually do. And we have had some crazy lives, and the good part about it is none of us got killed back then because we did hang out with some shady characters, but they liked us and stuff, you know, so we got along. Anyway, though, thanks for stopping by, and we will see y'all again on Say It Loud podcast on YouTube. If you like us, share, save, tell all your friends, tell all your relatives, tune in and watch us. And if you didn't like us, keep it to yourself.